And we're live.
We are live, right?
We are. All right.
Are we though?
I have some bad news, and
Oh no! Oh
going
no!
to affect any in person gaming.
Yep.
The fridge died. The fridge no
Oh,
longer. Yeah. So I was wondering. I'm not hearing it on the. I don't hear the motor on the microphone so much the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep.
it's gone. It's given up the
Well,
ghost.
well, it could have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been more than just cans of beer in there.
Oh, right. Yeah,
right? Like
that's
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a bag of ice that we lost.
Okay. Well, I was like, because like when someone's fridge dies and they don't know about it, like normally it's like, and there was this horrible smell. So like, no, there was okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. There was nothing, being saved in there so preciously. But oof, that's disappointing because that means no cold beer.
Well, we are gearing up for hot Japanese summer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Which is the exact opposite of.
Yeah. But
you definitely want cold.
So, yeah, we'll definitely need a new fridge.
Well,
but that's not related to this podcast. It's just something that's happening in our lives. Yeah.
Ooh, a new tier. A new tier on the Patreon. Buy us a new fridge.
Fridge pledge, yeah. Yeah, so we'll swap that out one of these days. Hopefully before the 19th.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which,
we'll see.
In addition to getting a new fridge, I got a ton of like basing and painting to do because I've had a chance to do nothing.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we'll be playing with stark white African Federation models, right?
It's very northern.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so that should be fun. We're going to give Hard War a try.
Yep.
I'm trying to get at least one of every one of the farm buildings printed out because I think we're just going to do 24 by 24. Okay, yeah, 2 by 2. So we don't need that much terrain, but we do need line of sight blocking as much as possible so we can.
I'm a fan of small scale games.
Yeah.
Small
so
footprint games, rather, I should say.
So yeah, this should be fun to see, and just putting the models next to the terrain. I'm like, oh, that looks great. Yeah, this is gonna look good. So we'll have a tiny,
except for my unpainted African Federation. Okay, what is that? Just gray for now. Yeah.
All right. So how's everybody doing in the chat? Good to see everybody in there. Yes.
I see a Restream chat. Hello,
Restream. Yeah, anytime I message, it goes to everything. Yeah. So Clarion and Matt and Arturo's there. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit maybe after the podcast about the lovely offerings on Disney Plus that just don't stop. Yeah, the new Mall series. They've really blown it. But any chance they had to kind of right that ship, I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's a lack of leadership, I imagine.
No, it's wanting to. Sorry, it's not really cash related. It's wanting to churn out as many bucks as possible on a single IP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think for a while Disney Plus thought they could compete with Netflix, and they just can't on the scale. They have the IPs, but if you put up a bunch of low quality stuff, then you ruin the IP. Netflix doesn't have any IPs. I mean, they have Stranger Things, I guess, and Squid Game, but that doesn't matter. Those, they can crank on those all day. Nobody cares about the quality. So disappointing in the streamiverse.
Streamiverse. Not disappointing in the streamiverse is maybe streaming hardware.
Oh yes, right, yes. So we'll give that a shot and have some big giant D12s rolling across the screen and all that stuff. Yeah, and it should be fun. I'm curious what people will think of the dice mechanic because it's very different. It's very
gamey.
Very gamey, very not very simulationist, but fun. I think it's. Yeah, I think it's fun because, you risk easier shots, more damage the closer you get, but same thing happens on their turn, on their activations. You're putting yourself in danger with your big units.
Interesting.
So we'll see. But so hardware will be fun. And I've got enough painted up. We can do another kind of low level game of Chronopia. I've got the Black Bloods and the Horned ones, the dwarves painted up. So in this time we'll have a larger model and then smaller ones.
Wow, you've been a painting machine.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot.
Well, anything's a painting machine compared to my output of 0. So I was like, wow, you got 1 miniature painting. Yes, I did. Impressive. All right.
Nice. All right. So this will be quite an interesting week. So
that never means anything good. All right.
Let's get into it. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Feywyn RPG, by some familiar folks.
Okay.
Draw Steel gets a VTT, like a real honest to goodness piece of software on Steam, VTT. Groupfinder data, so we'll find out how dominant D&D is. And then Breathless, the Frightmare edition. So an interesting take, or interesting thing that's maybe happening to some smaller itch.io games, how they're going to get published. So let's get into it. So welcome to Feywyn. It may seem very familiar, but RiotMinds has a new fantasy setting. They sold Trudvang to, or license, I guess they sold Trudvang to Come On.
Oh, they sold Trudvang?
I think so.
Okay.
And I don't think Come On, I think Come On then licensed it to, I can't remember. There was a sequence because Come On is getting rid of stuff.
Yep.
So they may have sold it like completely to, I forget what it said on the crowdfunder for Dragonbane Trudvang, but the Trudvang setting is being produced for Dragonbane, which is closer to the original game system, the Dragons and Demons that it was originally intended to be. And RiotMinds, so they sold an IP and then they just recreated that IP.
So wait, okay.
They're just making it again.
Okay. Continue with the story. Right. Let me see. Yeah.
So RiotMinds has a new fantasy setting, an Arthurian-inspired dark fantasy tabletop RPG, Celtic myths, in a mist-shrouded folklore, which is a lot of like what Trudvang was. And it's got a piece of Paul Bonner art to promote it already, so it feels a lot like Trudvang.
I see that. Yep.
So crumbling kingdoms, enchanted wilderness, and mist-shrouded ruins. Ancient forests harbor forgotten horrors, supernatural terrors, and treacherous fae. So they're trying to create a game. It's going to be a D20 game with actions that have real weight and consequences. So they're talking a lot about like story and outcome and narrative, much more than they were with the previous game. They just released a beta version of the rules, and they have this whole website, this whole digital platform for it. And so you have I don't know if it's the complete rules, but the rules in website form, like all chapters and searchable and everything, character creation, a dice roller, a VTT, and a total campaign mode where you can track everything. It's already built on this website. So they haven't done crowdfunder yet, but they said books are coming and they're going to be producing things, but you can basically like create characters on a list of characters. So if you're going to be the game master running this, you can probably just create, NPCs. But they do have a beginning little thing that you can play already. So they say, try it out. No strings attached, no subscription needed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to the website, and then they go a little bit further into talking about ancient bloodlines carrying the powers of gods, and the different kind of I guess the kin or the types of races that you play are all definitely based in this kind of either things powered by the Fey realm or something that has the blood of old lost gods or giants or titans or whatever. So there's a lot of that. There's a bestiary already up there, a total compendium of whatever rules they have so far, so references for all of their weapons damage and rules, an archive to explain in-world lore, letters, and forbidden texts, and then quick lookup for a way to search, like quick lookup for rules references, as well as a character sheet. So this is a thing already, but it looks and feels a lot like Trudvang, maybe a little less Nordic, like a little less
trolly.
Yeah, like trolly and dwarfy than the other ones. It's more like they're leaning into, I don't know, the Arthurian thing. I'm still trying to quite see like what they're doing with. I guess it's just like, you're given magics or powers from some other realm, some other the Lady of the Lake, perhaps as a fae, creature. So you don't know what this is powering and how they're. I didn't read enough of it to see how they're tying Celtic mythology and Arthurian, but that's the only difference is maybe referencing British folklore as opposed to Scandinavian folklore is the difference. Okay. But with some Paul Bonner art, it looks a lot like what they did before. Right. And so D20, add your attribute to one of your 3 stats. So it's just body, cognition, and social. And you're trying to roll over or equal to or over a challenge value. And
nice.
Then there's
you hear that, Monty Cook? 3 completely separate stats instead of strength, dex. And will. Yeah, okay.
Right.
All right, I'm on board just because of that. All right, thank you.
Nice. And we've got advantage and disadvantage, and then wounds and fear. So they're also working on I guess a companion app, so maybe for smartphones and stuff as well. You can access.
So we can all sit at the table.
Yeah, not look at each other. But yeah, this is very odd, and there were accusations. I think it might have been previous, not Trudvang, but they did like I think an Asian inspired. I don't know if it's like a feudal Japan or mythological Japan. They did something that was in the interim between Trudvang and this new thing, and there were some accusations of AI art.
Oh.
So yeah, if they're going to pay Paul Bonner and Alvaro Tapia to do stuff, they cannot mess around with any of that stuff, because
maybe they're going to sneak it in. Be like, haha, you're focusing on this stuff. Here's our
because that was the thing that was most compelling for me about the Trudvang setting. It was just so visually amazing. Like the artists really help world build for them and give you the feel of that world through their illustrations. If they don't keep leaning heavily into that, but if they use the same artist, then they're going to get very similar results. I don't know how they're going to differentiate. But it was a real curious thing that just popped up. And it popped up as update 100 on the old Trudvang crowdfunder.
Update 100, wow.
Yeah, so they've done 100 updates, but I think the last update was like 5 years ago or something. So it's been a while, and then suddenly out of nowhere, I got an update, and I'm like, oh, but what? And then but they just, maybe any way that they have to contact people, like mailing lists and stuff, they just want to make sure, hey, look, we're doing this thing, so check it out. And I mean, if you like that kind of setting and you want to play it totally for free, it's good to go. And I mean, then maybe you'll be inspired to support a crowdfunder. This is an interesting way to kind of do it all, hoping that people want physical books and giving them everything up front. That's an interesting.
I doubt I doubt they've given people everything. Like that sounds like they're holding stuff back. No, I mean, that is kind of a way to build interest. I mean, we're going to talk about indie games later on, but I mean, thinking about like Ironsworn, that was available for free as a PDF. Everything in the book, like not a truncated version, just like, here it is.
Right.
If you like it, consider buying a physical copy or additional books that go along with it. So, yeah, I think maybe this is the biggest group I've heard of doing it this way. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, and it's interesting that even if the crowdfunder fails, they still made the game. Like it may be satisfying for game designers. It's still out there. It's still playable. Even if the crowdfunding didn't fulfill and we had to cancel it, we still made this game. We don't have to rely on it existing based on hitting this, $50,000.
Are they going to run a Kickstarter for it?
They said it's coming, but they didn't say specifically crowdfunding. They did say books are coming.
Okay, so well it might not even be a Kickstarter. It might be like,
and they were trying to do this before. Trudvang had a digital thing. It had a website, and they gave you the books digitally when you pledged. They gave you books digitally in this kind of companion website that I think they were trying to do this, make it a VTT, make it a rules reference and everything. I think they were trying to do this before with Trudvang, and then just got caught up on crowdfunding and wanted to get all of the stuff they'd worked on physically out there. But yeah, and I don't think that exists anymore. I think they took that down. But so this is probably to kind of replace that. But yeah, interesting. So take a look at that. I'll put a link to that.
Won't cost you anything except time. Right?
Won't, just your precious time. All right. Well, speaking of VTTs, this is amazing. So, and everybody knew about this that was following Draw Steel. So the millions of people that are fans of Draw Steel now have a early access release. So I think they've been playtesting this for a while. People on the Patreon and people that supported the Kickstarter. But this is the first, the regular folks can get their grubby hands on an early access version of Draw Steel Codex, which is their VTT. Okay. And it is, just looking at it, it's like a perfect, it's like if you took the Roll20 module or, a module that was going to go on one of these other VTT platforms, and you just made it its own thing. So it doesn't there's no extraneous stuff. It's just the rules for Draw Steel in there. So and it seems like this is a good fit. So it's strange that this must have cost a lot of money to develop. This couldn't have been cheap.
From what I understand, Draw Steel has some
Yeah, they got some bucks.
MCDM has some fans,
yes.
right?
So but this is funny. This is something that and I guess they were being a little too ambitious trying to do an Unreal Engine 5, VTT Wizards of the Coast.
Wizards?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So this is more like what you would expect, tokens on a map with view, with kind of ranges of view and light,
Right.
light mechanics and stuff. So this looks like a really nice version of Roll20 or a kind of toned down version of a computer RPG.
Okay.
So it's right now $20, $19.99 US, and everyone that plays is going to have to buy a copy of it.
Okay.
So they're talking about in the future maybe they'll do packs. Maybe when the final release probably won't, early access is usually cheaper, so maybe the final release will be $30 or $40,
Right.
but they'll give you a pack where you get 5 licenses or whatever, so your 5 players and your game master can.
So you said prior that this is up on Steam.
Yes, this is Steam.
Which I never go to because I don't play video games. So it sounds like this is a one-time purchase.
Yes, yeah, this is a one-time thing.
Gee, imagine that. They're not trying to nickel and dime you every month, right?
Yeah, and so inside of it, so they say, it's good for people completely new to the system or people that have been following the whole way, both new and seasoned Draw Steel players. All the core rules are found in there. So that means everything from Draw Steel Heroes and Draw Steel Monsters, as well as their Start Here adventure called the Delian Tomb. So that's all in there. All the maps and everything is in there. So and this adventure was tested to play with 3 to 6 players, plus the director is what they call it, and it's got the system requirements aren't outrageous, just a 64-bit processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, but it from just the little the video of it running, it looks like a really polished VTT module, and Draw Steel seems to have a lot of fussing around. So this is going to make the director, the game master's life a lot easier, because you're not going to forget any. Oh, you had a +1 on that. Oh, wait. No, this was a disadvantage. There's all kinds of stuff because it's meant to be, more 4E, more strategic, 4E D&D, more strategic. And that can be a lot more fussing with, oh yeah, but they were blinded and you had advantage. And
Draw Steel players.
Yes.
Just play a tabletop war game.
Right.
I am happy that there are alternatives to the 300-pound gorilla. Draw Steel does not appeal to me at all. It seems like it's like I said, it's kind of 4E-ish, right? Where it seems to be like a lot of little fiddly stuff going on in combat, a lot to track, and I'm just like, just play a war game. Just play a war game. Right?
Yeah, and
sorry.
Other interesting detail about this, though, is like you're like, oh no, so this is just a locked-in thing, and you got to buy the next expansion.
Well, that's what I was wondering about. Huh?
But no, they've already said the codex includes tools for building or importing custom maps with dynamic lighting, multi-levels. Each player will have the ability to create their own custom characters, complete with custom profile icons. I guess your token and battle soundtracks. That could get a little difficult, but yeah. So yeah, it's pretty impressive that, and I think this is a good point of entry for this game. If you have no idea what this is, and this might, it would be fun to maybe go through, because they've just improved the character creator for D&D Beyond. So to go through,
improved to what level? From what? Jeez.
Do a character there and try to see how you go right into a game, a starter module or adventure, and then Draw Steel and go straight in and see which is more. I mean, the fact that you're not hosting the game, you're playing it's software on your system, and you're just connecting, with a multiplayer server. Sounds great. I mean, that sounds like that there's going to be fewer hiccups, there's going to be fewer problems. I can't see that. What happened? I'm not. I lost connectivity. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm really impressed that they did this to such a degree of polish. I mean, this is still early access, so I'm sure it can crash and it can have connectivity problems at this point, but with a game that is as crunchy and a little fussy as this is, it sounded like a few of the descriptions that I've heard sounds like a nightmare for the DM. To you really got to learn the system and really got to be able to teach it and be able to wait, this, and then it doesn't sound like there's a lot of stuff going on. But this would do a lot of that bookkeeping and a lot of that, it's already built in. You click the attack on your character sheet and it happens, and everything is calculated, because of what the map is telling you and what the conditions and stuff. So cool. So yeah, if you're interested in this at all, this might be a good way to try it out, and you'll be able to see the rules too. The complete rules are in there as well. So if you didn't back this, which you're probably in the minority, there's a big percent of people interested in any sort of D20 tabletop.
Was there any
stuff.
kind of indication about whether MCDM will be releasing like content for it?
Oh yeah, I didn't see there wasn't because it's early access.
Yep,
there
sure,
wasn't a lot
yeah.
of information. There might be because people were posting in the comments and stuff from the Patreon, like updates and stuff. Because there's public notices on the MCDM Patreon about the status of stuff and everything. So I think there's more detail there. The Steam page was because it was early access, didn't have a lot. It just had the kind of the sales pitch and then the download this now.
No, I was just wondering because okay. I know very little about MCDM and Draw Steel apart from the fact that it sounds like a game that I don't necessarily want to play. But I mean, okay, compared to other big names who have come out and said, geez, our fan base is under monetized, and then you're looking to put in like microtransactions and downloadable bullcrap and everything. I was just kind of wondering if MCDM kind of went the other way and said, nope, like here's your one-time purchase that gives you access to everything we currently have available, including some tools to like make your own stuff because nothing. So that, I don't know, that seems like a complete 180 from what other big names are doing, and I hope it pays off for them to prove that you don't have to nickel and dime your fan base or force them to pay like ludicrous subscription fees to maintain your stuff.
Right. Yeah, and I think, I mean, unless their aim is to be a billion-dollar company, I think this is the good approach, and developing it with the backers and letting them play test it, and so all along the way. So it's not like they're suddenly going to be like, oh, and here's the cash shop. And you need gems now if you want to play. They're not gonna, they're not gonna rug pull.
I suppose MCDM is probably not a publicly traded company with shareholders,
right.
Which is why they can do this.
They could rug pull the whole thing and say, oh, now it costs $1,000. But no, it's good. I think this will be a good example of kind of how to do this and how to take care of a very enthusiastic fan base and people that are interested in your game. This might be a nice model for a less than Wizards of the Coast kind of operation to handle things, keep people happy, not get too greedy.
Yeah, exactly, that's the thing. I think don't get too greedy. Right? Yeah.
All right, well, speaking of things that are not D&D but are competing with them, we've got some. So I think we were talking previously, like how do you look at what people are playing and how much it's like, because the only concrete data you can easily get, because Wizards doesn't want to share their publishing their numbers for distribution of physical books, is digitally, online, and Groupfinder has released their data, and a little bit to kind of promote. It looks like they want to support things that are not in D&D and see other things do better on the site. So Groupfinder is a website where basically can be group looking for players, player looking for groups, and you just register an account, and you're either part of a group or you're just kind of
browsing
freelancing out there. So Rascal News did an interesting breakdown of what they're, what we're looking at and what the data that Groupfinder released kind of tells us. And the interesting thing is, obviously D&D still dominates. So on Groupfinder, about 60% of all the groups currently looking for players are 5e or 5.5.
Okay.
Or some previous edition, they also said. So I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, but it's D&D. And then if the players individually, 90% of all the players are on Groupfinder are looking to play a D&D game. So that's a lot. So we're going to take out a lot of the people, like right off the top. So what is left? Let's remove D&D from that data.
Okay.
And what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, Cyberpunk Red, Mutants and Masterminds, and surprisingly, Daggerheart was up there. So of that remaining, maybe 40%, 40% of that is Pathfinder 1 and 2E. The next step down is Daggerheart at about 18%. Call of Cthulhu is about 12%. Vampire the Masquerade hanging in at 10%. Cyberpunk Red 5.5%. Lancer 3.5%. That's pretty respectable. Shadowrun is in there, almost 3%, and then OSR is about 3% as well. It's like 2.7. Star Wars is hanging in there, and then Mutants and Masterminds made a show showing it 2.2% of all the things. So this is a specific platform, and this is people that have found this or somebody recommended this or pushed them towards it. So it's not going to be this really broad sampling. And in fact, the numbers aren't insane. The numbers that we were talking about are
800 people.
Only a couple more than that. Where was that? I just saw that. Yeah. So the on their matchmaking platform, it was a big graphic, and I don't think I got the. It's a few. There we go. 1,560 active players, 688 active groups. So the sample size is not huge, and they may have. They who knows, these Groupfinder guys may have advertised with Wizards or something. They may have been biased towards that. So this is all of their current data as of April 6th, 2026. And it was really interesting to see the stuff that's hanging in there. And they've basically said they're looking, so it's a totally free global tabletop looking for group platform. So basically a matchmaking platform, but they're working on making sets of tools that help. So I guess like digital tool sets, like we're seeing with Demiplane and those sorts of things, digital tool sets for every game that becomes popular on their platform to help players, that find a game through that platform, actually like make characters or check rules or whatever. So in the future, they're really, and they're looking to support things that aren't D&D and trying to make, just kind of a unifying place to let you not only, be a player in a group that can easily find other players, but a player that can jump to other systems and try other games. So
from D&D to Pathfinder.
Right, you go all the way to Pathfinder. But
so I was thinking, we have all the kinds of games here: D&D to Pathfinder,
and a little Daggerheart. If you're feeling a little frisky, you can try that out. But I thought that was interesting to see, how dominant. And I think we've seen that with, I think Roll20 or some of the other platforms that had, revealed how many active sessions and active games there were. And it reads about similar. Can you imagine that it wasn't that long ago that it was like 4th edition D&D and Pathfinder were like neck and neck. Yeah. In the, and just about anything. But who knows, that data may have not been.
Yeah. And this is just that accurate. One site. But I mean, still, okay. Yeah. There's no way. I wish there were a way to get data from other sources.
Yeah, and I think they don't, especially Wizards of the Coast, don't really, because with shareholders, they don't really want you to. They want you to think that's a miracle, that this D&D thing is, well, we're going to be making $500 million a year on this thing, when the reality is probably far, far less. Yeah, there was I cut a little bit of a Mike Merrill's interview that was talking about we mentioned the Cannibal Halfling article that was talking about the kind of tiers of publishing, and he said it's not that big. Like the numbers that they were talking about, I don't know where they got them, but they weren't quite. They were kind of estimations. But it's that D&D doesn't make that kind of money.
Can you round that up a few percentage points?
Yes. So you can't go off of the shareholder meeting notes, because they're going to be a little optimistic. But let's talk about the little guys. What's happening with the little guys? And if you have a small, perhaps 2-page RPG on itch, it's okay.
It's actually 24. It's actually 24 because it's 3 8-page booklets. Right?
All right, but MythWorks might be the answer for you. So they are currently kickstarting a zombie-focused version of Breathless, the Frightmare edition of Breathless. So originally Breathless was on itch.io as a 2-page zombie survival game, and I think the reason that it created some interest is because people really liked this dice mechanic. And that was one of the things they even advertised on the Kickstarter page is this system, just the system they created for this game, has been used in over 350 games on itch as hacks. They've hacked the system and used the Breathless mechanic many, many times. So MythWorks looked at this and said, hey, let's not just do 2 pages. Let's do a whole multi-pamphlet game inspired by 90s horror and classic zombie movies. So the original game is written by Rene-Pier in 2022. It was just called Breathless. It gained immediate notoriety for this dice mechanic that established tension and scarcity by kind of stepping down every time you used it, and you needed to rest to get your dice
breath. Like I've looked at this. I think I have a copy on my hard drive somewhere, and your dice stepped down until you could catch your breath, and that's when all kind of reset. So hence the game being called Breathless.
Nice, it's a nice mechanic. So this is going to include a major update and several new scenarios, as well as a really gorgeous kind of retro, elaborate new design, and it's being published by MythWorks, so the publisher of Wild Sea and Slug Blaster. So one of the co-founders is Ray Chow. I get notices from him all the time from all the things that I've backed. I think it's probably Wild Sea. Wild Sea has updates on him. Always, his name is always showing up in my inbox. But so talking about this release, the first sign of infection was the memory loss. Then, for some, the change. Those became the breathless, ravenous dead who tore the world apart. One bite wakes the sickness inside, and soon you join their endless swarm. You are alongside strangers with one thing left to do. Or the one thing left to do is shoot, loot, survive. So yeah, the world is filled to the brim with undead monsters and creatures. So yeah, a simple game, but really the diminishing dice mechanic made it very popular online. And Deshay is working with a co-designer, Galen Peugeot, who worked together on Stoneburners. That's right. That was our first association with Mythic. They worked on Stoneburners for Mythic Works for their online shop, and that's when they came up with this idea. So, along with Emmanuel Mello, the cyberpunk CBR-PNK designer,
which we still got to run. Yeah,
they're creating a series of games called Story Pack. So Story PAK. So Story Pack is our way of making RPGs as easy to play as possible. So Chow stated in a press release, by creating games that are simple, lightweight, and beautiful, we are hoping to lower the barrier to entry and expand the possibilities of the medium. So the designer working on these kind of Story Pack kind of redos is Jack Panic, and Mello himself are working to give these games distinctive looks. And that this Breathless is not. It's a VHS cover, slides off, and every kind of thing opens up, and the pamphlets are inside. That's pretty cool. But so they did they're doing like just a VHS box.
I think I have the cyberpunk one where it's kind of like it's beautiful. Like I almost want to play it, right? Assuming I had time, right? Anyway, it's like this nice slip. It's like kind of not VHS size. It's bigger than VHS size, but it like slips out and then things unfold, and it looks amazing.
Nice. Yeah, so this new version of Breathless is meant for one shots, or could be longer 6 to 12 session campaigns if you would like. So this VHS cassette slipcase is going to contain 12 pamphlets, updated rules, tools for generating your own zombie dangers, and 4 adventures. So MythWorks is hoping to publish several more of these Story Pack games, so I'm sure they're looking around right now. But the next one that we're going to see is Mello's upcoming Onigami, a TTRPG about samurai and ninja that have made pacts with Onis in the 16th century. So I don't think VHS is going to quite be the format for that, but it might be like a Japanese letter you unfold or something. You know, the old handwritten so that'll be fun to see how they theme that. But so that was nice. It was nice to see like they're trying to, because of course these games exist as PDFs on itch.io, but if you saw them in a game store and it looked like a VHS case and it had a nice design, like, oh, let's try this out, because it's a ready to play game, like very easy to play.
I wonder if Cyberpunk ever went I don't know if Cyberpunk ever went to retail. Not Cyberpunk 2020. CBR-PNK.
Yes. Yeah, Mello's cyberpunk game. But so keep an eye out for more MythWorks story packs. I'll put the link to this Kickstarter. Cool. And if you pledge, I think it just came out, so I think we still are within the 48 hours. The first 48 hours, they're going to include the previous games, PDF versions, but the previous games of Deshay's other games that were done are going to be included. If you want more than just zombies. But so that was good to see. So
it's exciting.
Lots of stuff going on. Still, it's getting harder and harder to find interesting news every week.
Send us if you got it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I appreciate it, because that was the I got the notice for the update for Feywyn, and I didn't check it, and then people on the Discord are like, "What's this?" So yeah. So that made me go check out what RiotMinds is doing. So now they're competing with themselves, though. I mean, Free League is much bigger, has much bigger distribution, much bigger reach, but they are creating something that is competing directly with Dragonbane.
Well, the
True Fun.
tone, possibly.
Yeah,
The tone
yeah.
of the games might be different.
Yeah, yeah. So that I thought that was very funny. They're like, "Oh yeah, right. There's no copyright on Celtic mythology and Arthurian legend. We
Or
can."
on game mechanics.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's just the same game. It better not be the same game as the original Trudvang. That was not so playable. All right. So that's going to do it for this week. So where can people find you?
Instagram and Blue Sky. That's Hivemind, HYVEMYND, where in addition to trying to, well, I don't know if I'm not going to be able to prime in this weather.
Yeah.
In addition to painting some hard war tanks and mechs, I have decided I got to get back to painting Great Helm stuff.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think version 3 of the rules of the beta rules just got released,
nice.
and
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's supposed to play on like an A4 size sheet of paper.
Yes.
Right, and I've seen some beautiful boards, so I think it's time to like bust out the knights again and get back to painting up a team of 6 so that we have something to play with.
Nice.
So look forward to that and hold me accountable on that. Though not that hard, but so how about you?
Nice. Well, I draw a single panel gag cartoon that I've been doing forever, and and you can read that cartoon on GoComics, so gocomics.com/domestic abuse, and you can also find me doing streams in the distant past. I did live streams of drawing the cartoons, so abuse cartoons on both YouTube and Twitch. And also check out rcharvey.com. That was a website I edited for a long time that's comics and cartooning history. So if you have any interest in, and mostly focused on American, but do go into European stuff as well. So if you like what we're doing here at the weekly, consider becoming a weakling.
The strongest of all supporters.
You do that at patreon.com/upturntable. Tell us what you like to hear about on the weekly. Definitely give us some tips, because the news sites are disappearing. I think they're mostly just AI generated now.
God.
It's really slop out there. So that, yeah, there are very, very few good sources without going like directly to press releases and
Right.
email newsletters. Yeah, there's very little information floating around. So let us know what you'd like to hear about on the weekly. And upturntable.com is the source for everything that we're doing. So actual plays and hopefully some, I guess, our scuffed battle reports that we do for war games.
Scuffed battle reports, yeah.
So our war games
That's what you would call it, scuffed battle reports.
yeah, they're pretty scuffed, but you can kind of see what's going on. And also on all social media, Upturned Table, and so you can also patrons get the audio for this live stream on the RSS feed, and you can also join and have access to everything but the RSS feed as a YouTube member. So YouTube members from the join button below if you're watching this video. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. right. Again, I did it with the microphone. Gotta keep moving it back in place. All right. How is everybody doing? Nice. Oh, cool. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Oh, yeah. And Paul said, Breathless is a tight little system. Substratum Protocol is one of the better crowdfunds I backed in recent years. Oh, cool. And we'll take a look at that. Yeah, great. When am I running it? Oh, no. Yeah, actually, yeah, because I think because they're doing the crowdfunder, the original version is free right now on itch.io, or like the pay what you want. So yeah, we could do that very easily, and with a with a simple alchemy setup, that would be fun. Nice. Oh, and Paul was talking about that. Yeah, Draw Steel is in the vein of 4E and Lancer. It's a skirmish game. I also play war games. 2 different monsters. Both are allowed to exist. Interesting. 30K. Wow, 30K backers. Is that what we're talking about for the Draw Steel? God damn. Oh, and Paul was saying, ran our first Draw Steel game last Friday on Foundry. We're going to hop over to the proprietary VTT for tonight's game to see how it handles. Oh, great. Yeah, I wonder, that was the thing when I was watching it being played and like they were showing the menus and stuff. Like, I hope the learning curve isn't crazy. I hope they just kind of did the standard, did things kind of a standard way, or the kind of an intuitive way that you would have learned from Roll20 or whatever. Because that's the thing. As a game master, I've been really frustrated with switching between VTTs. Is this under a right click, or wait, can I drag and drop? Or, you completely forget what does what. But yeah, that's cool. I would really like to try it out. I don't know if I can talk that many people into spending $20 to try it out, but I'd really like to try that out, especially because it give you the first adventure. So just like we did with Daggerheart, I think it would be fun to do a stream where we just jump in and see, how this, kind of, no expectations, whatever, just kind of jump in and see, not any of us like being backers or anything. And I don't think anybody in the current group, I don't think, has played a lot of 4E. So yeah, it'd be cool to see how it goes. Nice. Oh, nice to see you, Quark. Yeah, thanks for jumping in. Paul, Trudvang is about a third of the way through its cat's lives. That's true. It keeps getting a chance, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll see if Freely can squeeze blood from that stone. Yeah, it'll be. It's really strange that RiotMinds did that. That's like, oh yeah, so we sold that IP and then they licensed it out, and we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna call Paul Bonner and say, hey, remember that thing we did 10 years ago? Like, should we do that again? At Chronopia. Nice, yes. Oh, cool. Paul played Stygians in Chronopia. Nice. Yeah, they never got with the initial crowdfunding, they never got there. They didn't do anything beyond a real kind of limited core factions. But if I don't know, I don't know if it's ever going to get more support. They had a little trouble, they had I think kind of redesign of some of the miniatures and stuff that slowed them down. So it took a bit to get that out, and now it's switched hands from the German company to a British company for handling the rest of fulfillment and then support for the game. So I don't know if that means support in the future. When we talked to, this was of course before the crowdfunding and everything, before the nightmares of fulfillment. When we talked to the guys that were doing Chronopia, Ilias and Martin, they were talking about they wanted to go all in. Everything that was released originally by Target Games, they want to go all in and do that. But we'll see. I guess it does depend on the interest. But yeah, we're gonna try to stream. Answering Matt's question, are you guys going to stream? Yes, we'll try to stream Hard War. The dice mechanics and stuff are simple enough. It should play. We shouldn't make too many mistakes, and it should play pretty easy. And it'll be a nice small table, so it should be easy to photograph. We can put a camera on the table and then a camera from above, so you can see everything that's going on. Just got to get everything painted, all the farm stuff painted. hopefully I have some chances to do that. But yeah, every time that the Paul Bonner art draws me in. So when I saw that Feywyn, I'm like, oh no. Some more good looking stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna get back to Dagger art. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it would be um it would be fun to I'm really interested in how much polish and like how tight the the Draw Steel Codex VTT is, um because yeah, that's pretty awesome that they're specifically doing that. And if that does well, I mean, yeah, they definitely have to have a certain level of success. They had millions of dollars to work with, but that means in the future other people that having that kind of success, that might be a thing that can take you out of the ecosystem, because any VTT that you're using for whatever platform, you're still going to get advertised to, and you're still going to have like 5e stuff kind of thrown in your face because this platform of course was originally designed for 5e and it's meant to play 5e. And you'll even feel that trying to do your own campaigns or trying to do homebrew rules and stuff in VTTs. It's like, oh yeah, this was built for 5e because that's what it wants me to do. Sorry. So some simpler systems, rules lighter, more bespoke systems, it's harder for them to handle that sort of thing. But yeah, but there's definitely some stuff. So yeah, we should give Breathless a try. That'd be fun. If I wasn't sure how people's interest in zombie games would be, but this sounds really fun. It sounds like a really interesting way to do it. And I think just about any VTT can handle the handle like that dice chain. We just have to remember what die you're on. But yeah. All right, should we get to the ugly oh wait, what was the RIP? Oh, I totally scrolled past it. Descent. Oh no, what happened? That's Asmodee? There was like Fantasy Flight, right? So is that Asmodee? Am I thinking of the right game? No More Descent? Because there's a video game called Descent too. But yeah, I didn't see any of the Descent news as that IP. I knew what was that? Fantasy Flight had to kill their what was it? Rune something? Their war game. They were doing like a fantasy war game when they had the Warhammer Fantasy and 40K license, and I think that's why they lost that license. But yeah, I didn't see what happened to Descent. Is it, I think it's Asmodee. Everything is Asmodee now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Descent Legends. Is that what you're talking about, Matt? Yeah. Oh, there's a print and play. There you go. Print and play content. Oh, that's right, because they did that big box, like that redone kind of box that doesn't actually the lid just kind of floats on top because there's so much stuff inside. Yeah, I didn't see what happened. But yeah, we'll see. Rune Wars. Thank you, Casey. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. So Rune Wars, they pushed that for a little while because that was a setting for another game, right? They already kind of had that setting, and then they did the war game, and then surprisingly, Games Workshop says, "You're not going to do any more. You're not going to do our license anymore." Yes. Oh, Fantasy Flight announced they're canceling the Descent line. Oh no, and won't make the next planned expansion. Too expensive to make. Wow, that's too bad. Well, be prepared then for everybody to hoard all the existing Descent stuff and, try to charge triple price for it immediately. Yeah, so that's too bad. Yeah, sorry, I missed. I should always be checking on the train ride here. I should be checking that Discord, but I'm always doing other nonsense. Nice. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's too expensive. Yeah. And I don't think the way that they ever handled that game was very good. Chris played a bit of it and said that they really had a fun time with it. But I think they sold it, like the original. I don't know anybody that owns it anymore. I think anybody that owned it sold it, and then they did that weird that big giant version. But yeah, so they have some print on demand stuff. Yeah, that'll be interesting if any board game companies play around with the idea of STLs. You know, like we'll do printable stuff in STLs for dead games. You know, that'll be funny to see the first person that dares try that. It would be nice not to have somebody ship a huge box to Japan anymore. I can't even imagine what things would be right now. But yeah. So I think they did 2 episodes. They released that new Mall series on Disney Plus, that new Star Wars. I'm getting really tired of that ugly looking, like, trash pile marionette look of that animation. That animation is like 20 years old. That style, that Clone Wars style and stuff, and they just did that as a fast, cheap, and dirty. I think it was like a Taiwanese 3D studio that threw together this like real fast and dirty way to do this, because the Gendy Tartakovsky animation that they did for Cartoon Network that looked awesome. They didn't want to continue with that cell that cell animation style. And so they took a little bit of the stylization of the cell stuff and made these. They just look like cruddy, trash marionette stuff. Everything's like, I guess because it's Star Wars, they try to make it dirty looking or whatever. So some of it's all cruddy, and then nothing looks nice. Like occasionally they'll make a decent looking face, but almost everybody looks constipated and angry and weird, and it's just like a real weak translation of a lot of the creature designs and stuff into that. So they did a Ventress series where she had some lovely hair too before she shaved her head. I don't know her whole story, but they did a Ventress thing that sucked because immediately she had this little kid sidekick, golly gee. And so I didn't make it through any of that, although I liked that character, but I didn't make it through anything like that. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, they're going to do this mall thing. This is a good chance for them to kind of reset a little bit. And it's for the Disney Plus platform. They don't have to go total kiddie with it. They don't have to have the moral of the story is, and they don't do that, but it still has that same tone, which I don't think even the Ahsoka series has that just like crappy YA tone of everything is, just all the characters are super self-absorbed, and you don't really believe any of the characterization of anything, because I think Filoni is a terrible terrible writer and director and character creator, and he's got a little bit of an obsession with little alien girls. So we won't go into that, but he's a little obsessed with little alien girls. And so yeah, they had a chance to kind of tell an interesting story. And I think what they did, because it's kind of like a crime drama is how it comes across, because they're dealing with the underworld. It's all those like crime syndicates in the Star Wars universe. And so they have a character that's like a police detective, but it's just not handled completely well. And it feels a little bit like, and they keep doing this. They keep going back into like rejected or thrown out ideas or stuff that was never produced. So maybe they're going back into some of the old ideas for that Star Wars TV show that was going to be like Star Wars CSI kind of thing, that was kind of pitched back in the day when it was way too expensive. They hadn't quite figured out all the green screen stuff yet with the prequel trilogy, but they were going to do I don't know if what they were going to call it, like Star Wars Underworld or something. But there's some test footage. You can find test footage on the internet of them trying to do this stuff with like stormtroopers walking around, the seedier parts of the cities and stuff. And they were going to do like a procedural kind of crime drama thing in the Star Wars universe. And it just never happened. I forget, because that was, still when it was just Lucasfilm, and I forget who they were working with. But it all fell apart because the budget that they needed was too silly. Yes. Yeah, Casey, I agree. Yeah, the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and that's the thing. I love that guy. I think he's creative. He's wonderful in that Primal series he's doing for HBO Max or whatever that's on, is amazing. A totally wordless, very entertaining piece of animation, and he got to do whatever he wanted. He got to creatively just do every dream project he wanted to come up with, all of his own original stuff. But he was offered the Dave Filoni job. And the reason that he didn't take it is why we got fucking Dave Filoni. We never would have had to deal with that guy if Gendy would have taken the position. But then again, he would have been shackled to the Star Wars IP. We wouldn't have gotten any of the great stuff, his like kind of weird, playful anime looking stuff, like everything that he, all the little series that, you know, didn't really gain a lot of popularity, but all the really creative stuff that we would have none of that. The stuff he did for Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and stuff. But yes, we would have had an amazing bunch of Clone Wars cell animated stuff, and they wouldn't have done that weird CG thing. those dirty little wooden characters that we have to see as Star Wars now. Oh yeah, no, this was really old. This was I think like pre in that, you know, that limbo of after the popularity of Star Wars died and before the prequel trilogy. This was a thing that was kind of cooking at Lucasfilm, because I think they were just starting to experiment with the with his virtual, you know, all the not virtual, but all the green screen, you know, heavy green screen stuff that he wanted to do. But I think there was a game. That's right. There was a game that was going to kind of be that sort of setting. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame we didn't get any of that. Our Haggard Arts characters. Oh no. Yeah, that's crazy. That'd be funny though to bring those characters into something else. I wonder what, because there's a lot of like silly abilities and stuff that we'd have to figure out how to adapt to another rule set. But I wonder what if we get those characters out of that hell system and into something more fun. Oh, thanks. Yes. George Lucas one set on Coruscant. Yes, that's right. Yeah, like a Coruscant police procedural. Yeah, it's too bad they couldn't figure that out. Although, I mean, it probably would have been better writing than the stuff we're getting on Disney Plus. So it's hard to say. It's like, because the Disney Plus stuff is such trash, but it looks nice. And but the writing probably would have been a little bit better. And it would have been interesting to do, you know, like a bad guy of the week, or, you know, if they would have done it more episodic. I think episodic Star Wars is a much better way to go than these long arcs. But I think streaming is convinced that these long story arcs, season-long story arcs at least, are the way to do streaming series to get people watching them. Jason Momoa is eternal. He has to come back in some other system. Put them in Morgborg. There we go. That probably wouldn't be too bad to come up with a way to convert some of those special abilities. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting less and less patience with the people that, you know, have love for that Clone Wars stuff, because it's pretty much unwatchable now, because it was done for Cartoon Network and is very kiddie, and they never got out of that. Like they've never been able to write more mature animated stories, you know. And it may just be the whole way that that's produced or whatever. The whole, you know, production pipeline of those kind of shows don't allow for them to do anything very interesting, because it's just the staging and stuff. It's like I don't know how they're boarding this animation and stuff, like how they're doing the layouts and storyboarding for it, but most of the shots suck so bad. Like you'll get a couple of interesting angles, or a few interesting kind of simultaneous action scenes, or things that cut well together, but for most of it, it's just so bland and workmanlike. And even the reveal of Darth Maul in this new Maul, so they totally blew it. They were just like doing the kind of an imitation of the reveal we got in the prequels, but they just don't handle it well. And the wacky, like glow stick lightsaber tools that they do, that everything's just moving so fast it just blurs. It's like you can't tell how many blades are even on his saber, because everything is like just spinning. It's just these like circles of spinning light, just to make it look super cool and fast. But yeah, I don't know. And immediately they just introduce way too many kid characters, and that kills any sort of drama. Too bad. But yeah. The Breathless is a good idea, Matt. That'd be a good, especially for like a one shot. That'd be a great thing to slot in there. I'll take a look. I'll take a look and see what kind of setup that needs with the original one. And I think there's a digital only on the Kickstarter. I think there's a digital only level. Let me see. Which might get us in there. We won't have the cool VHS case, but I'm sure that's going to cost $50 to get it to Japan. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Where's the yeah, because it just started, so we've got about a month. Oh, digital. There you go. $20. Yeah, for PDFs of everything. Yeah, that might be good to see if we can drag that into something. They don't. Oh, but for the standard edition, yeah, they give you both. They give you the digital stuff as well. Yeah, so. Oh, so it's just for another $20, then you'll get the physical box. Ah, man, but it's gonna cost so much to ship here. Yeah, it's really cool though. They did a really nice job, because it's even got like stickers on it. It slides off. Horizontal, vertically. It slides off just like those VHS slip cases. Yeah, but that's too bad. Yeah, the special edition doesn't. It's just hot pink, so it's like not. I don't know. The red, kind of classic, the standard one looks very nice and of that genre. The hot pink one is a little. It's a little much. It's a little 80s. If they're trying to go after the 90s, 90s VHS thing, it's a little. The hot pink is a little 80s. We didn't see so much of that. Yeah, so yeah, the digital's not bad. That might be fun. And but they're talking about even the digital delivery though, they're talking about not until January of next year. So yeah, maybe we'll just look on itch. see what's there. Oh yeah, and there's other things using those mechanics too. Yeah, it's funny how people get obsessed with when the whatever that system, the Jenga tower system and stuff. People were making a lot of stuff for that. I guess there's just kind of a meta and a popularity and like trends that happen only on itch. They said 90s horror, but what differentiates 90s horror from? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. Like 90s horror was just a lot of it was just harkening back, because if you think 90s horror, isn't that like Scream and some of like the revisionist stuff, or the self-conscious stuff? Yeah, and so but their box cover does look 70s and 80s. It doesn't really have the 90s feel. So I wonder what maybe just it not being slow zombies and me being a variation of zombies, because yeah, I think that was 2000s though, wasn't it? 28 Days Later, but that those aren't zombies, of course. They're rage disease people, but fast zombies. Dread, thank you, Paul. Yeah, the dread mechanics are were popular for a while after the original game came out. Oh yes, it's funny. Paul says, "Funny you have Vor on the monitor." Yeah, I love this piece. So that game replaced Warzone and Chronopia for us when we came out. Oh wow! Still miffed that FASA closed shop before the custom Army Codex got to see print. Yeah, that's really frustrating. And I think the original designer, I think he had the right. He somehow got the rights and was trying and did a crowdfunder like in 2008 or something to try to bring Vor the Maelstrom back, and it didn't go. I don't know if he just didn't market it well enough, or just the world wasn't ready. I don't know, but yeah, that's very frustrating. I get because I did an unboxing for the starter set that's up there, and yeah, people were talking about that, and I did a flip through the books and that were out, and people were saying, yeah, I saw the books for this and this, faction that weren't released. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that never made it. Yeah, good. So yeah, I love this Paul Bonner piece. It's been the wallpaper forever, so that's why it comes up on the TV, because that's my PC wallpaper. Yeah, it's nice that there's decent resolution Paul Bonner stuff around online. It's really good to see, a lot of the detail in his work is really fun. And we're getting a new piece for the Trudvang cover. He's doing a new cover for the Dragonbane. I hope, I hope that is playable. I hope it works. That the system works. We'll see. But at least we have yet another book with all of that same art again and again. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, what could have been with the Gendy stuff. But then there'd be no, I don't know if he was doing that yet, but there might be no or much less Samurai Jack, and all the stuff that he had done would be a lot less. If he had been Star Wars, we'd only have what, Dexter? Dexter's Laboratory? Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they don't try. Well, I guess they have with that weird. It's mostly anime studios, right, that are doing the Star Wars Visions stuff. Because there's been a few other kind of animated projects for Star Wars, but yeah, nothing. Man, nothing is looking good. Yes, yeah, the Symbionic Titan, Primal Unicorn Warriors, Eternal. Yeah, there's some really great stuff. His kind of original stuff that he did. And I don't know, when was he? He was like, oh, they say he's a Cal Arts guy. What? I thought he was at let me look up Gendy's education, because I thought for sure did we go to this almost the same schools? That's disappointing. I thought he was across the street at the call in Chicago. I thought so. He's only Cal Arts. Oh yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I don't remember people talking about him when I was at Cal Arts. I thought he went to the Columbia College, the place across the street. They had a pretty big animation department. Maybe I'm thinking of one of the other Cartoon Network guys. Oh no, Columbia College. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he studied film at Columbia College, and then wow, we almost did the exact same thing, and I never met him. Maybe he was is at a different time. There's no dates. Wait. Yeah, there's no dates. But yeah, he went to Columbia College, which was right across the street from the School of the Art Institute, and then he went to Cal Arts. Jesus, never ran into him at all. So he must have been right before, because that was the 90s was when they did Cartoon Network, like 94 or something, when they did that call for 92, call for submissions for all those original series. So when Cartoon Network did Dexter and Powerpuff Girls and all those original kind of creator, they didn't own them, but the creator made original series, and that did that whole so he was part of that. So he must have been before me. He must have been out of there before me. That's funny. Crazy. But yeah. Funny stuff. Okay, enough enough animation. Yeah, I was some crazy when I was at school in Chicago. There was some crazy. Alex Ross was at the school the same time that I was, and so was Chris Ware, the awesome comic artist. Yeah, there's some really cool people that came out like the same time, different departments, but same time. All right. So we're gonna play some zombie stuff. Oh wait, and actually, I should have mentioned that. Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna get back to another session, another Lost City session tomorrow, if everybody's doing good schedule wise. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what Zargon has in store for these folks. Oh, that's right. And Matt is now a sixth level cleric because he's possessed by Demetrius or Darius, one of the twins, and he wants to kill the other twin because the other twin assassinated him. So tune in for that. Find out how long Matt's possession lasts and how many of those spells he can get off before the possession disappears. And if they're gonna like backtrack and try to run through all the monsters they had to flee from in previous levels with this mighty cleric at the lead. Nice. All right, Quark, thanks for stopping by. Have a good work day. Nice. Oh, Paul saying, yeah, Dread. Everybody seems to try Spooky Jingo once. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of life beyond that. Yeah, I always thought, like, yeah, you need very special conditions. You need a very stable table, and yeah, nobody can be too clumsy if you're playing a Jenga-based game. Abyss wants to backtrack. He's imagining all those riches that are left behind. Abyss is saying, what are you talking about? That's his name, right? Zargon? I don't know. I think so. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll catch you guys up if you forget how some of the story is going. Nice. Yes, spooky Jenga. Yeah, it's so funny. I'm sure people are going to look back at this indie RPG Renaissance time and be like, yeah, they're just going after anything that seemed a little different. Anything that wasn't dice was fascinating. But yeah, we'll figure out some stuff. Yeah, I'm still really, it's going to take some setting up, but I still really want to try to pull off the 2D20 Mutant Chronicles stuff with you guys, with the group, anybody that would be interested in playing, because there's some good stuff there. I just have to, I think the system, I think we can get around any clunkiness of the early system. Oh, that's right, because that's a hit location. That's right. That's the other thing that slows it down is you roll a d20 for hit location. In early 2d20, it was d6s for damage or special effects, d20s for everything else, or two multiple d20s for everything else, but you're also rolling hit location. So you can keep killing the left tentacle and nothing ever ends. Yeah, so we'll see. But but I liked was it Abyss? Was it the Slay Industries recommendation too? I think that would be fun to try. Get some Slay Industries in there. That's definitely the same tone, and it's still in print. It's still being supported, so that might be a good choice. Oh yeah, and I did see an update about the Luna City Blues, the kind of indie RPG that they're doing, based on kind of the Luna City Mutant Chronicles setting. It sounds like things are finished and being play tested. And they're just trying to figure out a good timing and some support, like publishing support and stuff, if they're going to go to crowdfunding. So yeah, it sounds like the game is there. It's just they don't know, what the next step is and the good timing for crowdfunding. But yeah, if I could get a playtest copy, I'll keep bugging the creators and see if I can get a playtest copy of that, because I'd really like to do that. And if it's going to be simplified mechanics like his Cthulhu, I think it's Mikhail, his Cthulhu system, that'd be fun. That'd be fun too, and that would scratch the itch a little bit too, because that's the first part of the setting that I like, is the kind of unraveling of everything on Luna City. So you're playing cops and things aren't going well, and Your job gets a lot harder. All right. Plus all the corporate nonsense. Oh, it's really raining, isn't it? Oh, sorry. They've got a waterfall on the skylight there. Yeah, what a miserable day. That's what, yeah, Chris said. No priming this weekend because we're gonna get heavy downpour. So everybody that came to Japan to see the cherry blossoms, all they're getting is rain and wind. All right. Yeah, definitely a grimy, awful setting. Yeah, it looks really fun. They've done a lot of, they've supported a lot of it. There's a lot of expansion for that game, so that would be fun to get into. Oh, Paul was saying, speaking of escaping dice, I'm still trying to get His Majesty the Worm to the table. Oh, wow. I think it loses some of the magic with online play. Yeah, that's a good point. There are some games that yeah, are not, yeah, you definitely don't, there's things kind of missing from the experience. And especially if there's nice physical components like tactile stuff and everything. Yeah, just like popping up a JPEG on a VTT doesn't have the same sort of feel. That's why I really wish it works okay, but it'd be so fun to have the glossy photos from Blade Runner and also like the torn notes and stuff that they really went all in with doing, like almost not quite to the extent, but almost to the, Call of Cthulhu style with handouts for Blade Runner. And when we just have to do all that stuff digitally, it definitely loses it. A grimy, awful setting. Nice. Oh, nice. Watch a YouTube doc on Zardoz. Yes. Nice. So good and so bad. Yeah, and I heard, what was that thing I heard about Zardoz? That it was the failed Lord of the Rings. It was the guy that did Excalibur. I'm blanking on the director's name, but the director of Zardoz, he was in the works, or he was in the process of trying to do a Lord of the Rings movie. I was for some reason, I forget what I watched, but then all of my recommended stuff was all this like history of Lord of the Rings. So I think it was the animation, the Rankin Bass stuff. And then I got a bunch of Lord of the Rings recommendations. And they talked about the Beatles wanting to do the Lord of the Rings. The Beatles as four hobbits would be pretty awesome. But George wanted to play Gandalf, I think. But then, yeah, a deal fell apart for the director of Zardoz to do Lord of the Rings, and they say that he took some of his, because it was, they did some weird refiguring of the story, because I think they had to tell everybody that was going to do a Lord of the Rings movie. Every studio, that's why the Peter Jackson project is amazing, because every studio said one film. It has to be one film. Those 3 books, one movie. So everyone's trying to figure out how to make it one movie. And that weird animation that came out from the United Art, or the UPA studio, the kind of Eastern European looking one that isn't anything connected to the real story. That's what happened, is they just said, I think they had the Lord of the Rings, and they just had to crush it down into some nonsense kids cartoon, because they everyone said so. And I think that was a threat, because I remember it was New Line, right? A New Line Cinema, and I think there was a Harvey Weinstein threat that he was going to give if they wanted to make it one movie, either 1 or 2 originally, and Peter Jackson had to do all of this fighting with him to say, no, we have to do all 3, and we'll do them all at once, so we don't have to worry about people aging out, or it'll be as economic as possible. But they were still pushing, and I think there was a really weird thing where they were threatening to give it to Tarantino or something. It was something really weird. Like Harvey Weinstein said that was when they were fighting, when Peter Jackson was fighting with them about how they were going to do this. There was some weird threat. They were going to give it to like somebody as stupid as Tarantino. They were going to give it to somebody else if they couldn't agree on this. And then he did some he had some event where he had a bunch of the people in the orc makeup and stuff, the orc prosthetics and stuff that they had already come up with, and so they got to see how much pre-production stuff they'd already come up with and figured out what this was going to look like, and then that did enough to kind of convince the studio that they could pull this off. But yeah, there was some weird detail, and I don't know how true anything you hear on the internet is, but wouldn't that be insane if we would have had a shitty Lord of the Rings by just some random director that would have been a one film? John Borman, there we go. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness. But yeah, because as soon as they mentioned that, I downloaded the Borman script for the Lord of the Rings is still floating around, and the screenplay, and the screenplay starts out with Tolkien. Like Tolkien is in the like you're in his library, and it like zooms into his eye or something. It's the way that they take you into Middle Earth, and I think they actually show it. Like I forget the text from the beginning. The first couple of shots in the screenplay are really weird because you're in this musty library with the author Tolkien, and then like the camera goes into his eye, and then you see Middle Earth. Like you see, I don't know if it's a map or if it's a depiction of the planet of Middle Earth, the Earth when it was in the middle. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's crazy. There's so many so many people trying to make versions of that. Can't imagine. But yeah, and so that screenplay's out there, and so is the Oliver Stone Conan script, which is crazy. Yeah, you can find a PDF of the original screenplay that I think it was Oliver Stone wrote for the John Milius Conan movie, which is super wacky too, much more mutants and crazy stuff. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow with some old school essentials, and if we have any cancellations or anything before then, I'll figure out something else to do. There'll be something to talk about. Yeah, I never went through. I got the it was last year, but I got the Moria book. Came in and didn't flip through that yet for the One Ring. That's something I think we should play as well. It's in the queue somewhere, right? The One Ring, because they did the new starter set too. So if the new starting adventure is on alchemy, that would be fun. Or even just pick our setting and just create characters and go, because that would be beautiful, because there's great art. There's really good art on the One Ring, the Free League release. That would be a real good alchemy game to play. I don't know if we'll have enough of that art though. That's the only problem, is we may not have enough to support everything we need, because they've done a lot, but they haven't done that many releases, and they're well designed books, but they're not heavily illustrated. So we may run into a need but I guess though, there's a lot of Tolkien illustrations, so we might be able to search up some nice classic illustrators' takes on, and it won't be consistent, but it'd be cool if we could actually do like artists that have worked on cover art or calendars or whatever for Lord of the Rings, so we have some like nice illustrators versions of stuff. Lots of hunting though, but I've enjoyed that for old school essentials. I've just been trying to go back through all of the old black and white D&D line art, and some of it gets a little crazy for the tokens and stuff, but I've been trying to do as much of the old school artwork as possible, because there's a lot of nostalgia seeing some of those monsters are very familiar. Oh, nice. Yeah. So Paul saying, yeah, the One Ring does a great job of capturing the Middle Earth aesthetic. Great travel rules. That would be fun. Yeah, that would be really fun. That's something we haven't done too much of, is because I just kind of hand waved that. I didn't want. We just needed to get to the destination. I didn't want to bog you guys down with hex crawling in old school essentials. But yeah, that would be good, especially some good travel rules. Well, very cool. So yeah, let's do this again next week. And yeah, tune in tomorrow for some old school essentials, the Lost City. Maybe they will eventually find the Lost City, or just leave the whole place and say, enough of this and your crazy factions. You haven't even met the warrior maidens yet. I wonder where they're hanging out. Yeah, but that's fun, like reading through those modules, and you can never predict how a party will play that. It's so fun, because even in the Palace of the Silver Princess, we missed some of the iconic stuff. Like they're just they that one level, they were in every single room, but the second level they skipped a lot of stuff. So there's like the really big classic stuff, and I guess because it was like more difficult, so they wanted you to level up, which of course we didn't do. But yeah, there were some classic rooms, and I think some of the stuff that was censored actually in the original version of that we never ran into. Only a little bit of three-headed people and all that stuff. All right. So yeah, so thank you to everyone, especially the patrons and members, for making this all possible. We'll be back tomorrow with some old school essentials, and yeah, we'll get some other stuff on the channel this coming week. And yeah, so take care, everyone, and see you again soon. Goodbye.